Glenbrook North and All-Stater Jonathan Shire play for the big prize tonight. The Spartans' third 2 years ago. They'll improve on that against Carbondale. The Terriers have never won a state title in any team sport. The Spartans and the Terriers for the AA state title. Next.
This is the game kids dream about playing in all their lives from the minute they pick up a basketball. The Class AA State Boys Championship game decided here tonight. It's Carbondale against Glenbrook North, and for the call of our ball game, let's go to Dave Bernhardt and Mark Lindo. Guys?
Thank you very much, Lee. And you take a look at two teams, 31-2, two teams playing with extreme confidence, Mark.
They wouldn't be here if they weren't confident. Two great basketball teams are both on the roll at the right time. Both of them on streaks. Both of them have the eye on the prize here tonight.
Let's take a look at how these two teams got here. First of all, for Glenbrook North, big win today, and I mean big, and it was an easy win today in the semifinals over Jefferson. That was after knocking off Brother Rice in the quarterfinals yesterday. As far as Carbondale is concerned, they had to struggle a little bit with Downers Grove South today, 53-42 in that semifinal win, but here they are, and they bring some outstanding players. I'm telling you, we have got great players, not only in the state, but in the nation. First of all, Jonathan Shire.
Hey, John Shire, one of the premier players of the country. He continues to put up big numbers. 48, 35, 25. He has a 36-point average in this tournament. He's big time. Where's he going to school? I don't know, but he's got a state championship to win first.
And somebody else who is having an outstanding tournament, that's Ray Nelson from Carbondale.
How about Ray Nelson? He came in with about a 10-point-a-game scoring average, but since then he has 19 points and 17 points in the two tournament games. 13 out of 16 from the field. Not too shabby. He stepped up at showtime.
Let's take a look at the keys to this ball game. First of all, for Glenbrook North, what do they have to do?
Glenbrook North has to have an outstanding basketball game as far as their adrenaline rush. They're a little bit tired. They didn't get much rest here this afternoon, so they must really keep their eye on the prize, let emotion carry them. Shire on fire. He has to be at his best here this evening, and then double trouble. They doubled down on Robert Eppinger this morning. They must do the same thing on Manuel Cass here tonight.
And for the Terriers,
they got to use them all. 5 guys averaging double figures. Balance is what had them there. Team balance is their key. Code red. The paint is red here at Bradley. They have to get the ball back inside where they scored 30 points today, and then average John. Shire averages 35 points or 25 points a game. If he's above that, the Terriers are in trouble. If they keep him below their average, we could go down the wire here tonight.
All right, the drama begins here in Carver Arena, but just about an hour and a half ago, these teams arrived. Jim Miller bringing his Carbondale Terriers. They got to the semifinals last year. They needed to play in a championship game. It didn't happen. They will do it this year. As far as Glenbrook North is concerned, this is a trip they have been planning to make for quite some time. Jim Miller takes a look at us now, and he says, we're ready to go. And here come the Spartans from Glenbrook North. Jonathan Shire leading them in, a nod to the camera. He's ready to go. The folks in Carver Arena are ready to go, and we're ready to head over to Paul Herzog at the scorer's table.
Good evening, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association and the City of Peoria, welcome to America's original March Madness. Tonight's Class AA championship game for 2005 features the Carbondale Terriers, 31-2. And the Northbrook, Glenbrook North Spartans, also 31-2. Before we meet the starting lineups, please stand and observe a moment of silence to reflect on our freedom. And remember the men and women in the armed forces serving us around the world. Thank you, and thank them. And now, please remove your caps and address the flag with your hand over your heart as a senior from St. Charles North High School, Emily Shankman sings the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes
And now let's meet the starting lineups for this Class AA championship game. At a guard for Glenbrook North, a 6'2 senior, 12, Sean Wallace. At a guard for Carbondale, a 6'1 senior, 21, Ray Nelson. The other guard for the Spartans, a 6'6 junior, 23, Jonathan Shire. The other guard for the Terriers, a 6-foot senior, 25, Michael DeWalt. At center for Glenbrook North, a 6'5 junior, number 50, Jonathan Radke. At center for Carbondale, a 6'6 junior, 41, Manuel Cass. At a forward for the Spartans, a 6'5 senior, 25, Matt Gold. At a forward for the Terriers, a 6'4 senior, 23, Josh Tabb. The other forward for Glenbrook North, a 6'7 junior, 44, Zach Kelly. The other forward for Carbondale, a 6'3 senior, 24, Philip Fain. Coaching Glenbrook North in his 10th season, a record of 185 and 98, David Weber. A 16-year head coach, 7 years for Carbondale, a record of 148 and 59, Jim Miller. No other state in America can claim the rich history and tradition that's been generated by March Madness in Illinois. It's America's original March Madness. Please direct your attention to the arena floor and meet the officials for this game. The referee, Kevin White from Chicago, Craig Jeffries from Chicago, and Scott Massey from Crystal Lake. Presenting this game ball for the championship game will be Don Western, Vice President of Track Type Trackers of Caterpillar, one of the sponsors of the March Madness experience. All of us thank the Track Type Trackers division of Caterpillar for their contribution to the greatest high school single event in the land.
And looking back at those starting lineups here, that's how it is for the 2005 Boys AA State Championship ball game. Wallace, Shire, Gold, Kelly, and Radkin on the other side, the balance of Carbondale. 5 players averaging in double figures. Tabb, Fain, Cass, DeWalt, and Ray Nelson. And you can feel this place juice tonight. One of these two schools will win their first state basketball championship. Carbondale, Glenbrook North, we're underway. And it will be the Terriers with it first. This is Michael DeWalt. Ray Nelson. Shire draws his assignment. Quick block by Shire. Manuel Cass. For this state championship game, 357 miles between Northbrook and Carbondale, the homes of these two schools. That is the furthest distance ever for a boys AA state basketball championship, and they meet here in Peoria. Manuel Cass gets the scoring underway. Cass for number 2. And it will not drop. Rebound off to Zach Kelly. First possession of the game for the Spartans. Wallace to Matt Gold. Gold had a big semifinal.
Kelly, triple team, gives it away. Glenbrook North back quickly on defense. They take a lot of pride in their defense. A lot of talk, of course, goes to John Shire, and deservedly so. But they can play the D. Cass. Position inside to Matt Gold. Head to Sean Wallace. He came up big today. It's a big win, an easy win over Rockford Jefferson. Actually, it's a win that enabled Northbrook, Glenbrook North, to get themselves some rest, get some players some rest. Gold sees the baseline and capitalizes. Matt Gold had 14 points earlier in the day. Here's Josh Tabb. Philip Bain touches it, and that's one thing you will see. You will see all 5 players touch the ball, and the ball is turned over. Radke to Wallace. Inside, now outside for 3. Book it. Here's Bain. Quick first step, and the ball pinned off the glass by Shire. The early lead to Glenbrook North.
Glenbrook North now moving the basketball. A lot of perimeter action. 4 out, 1 in. Little ball handoffs and some screens on the outside.
Shire's first three-point attempt. Once again, the strong offensive rebound from Zach Kelly, and that would be a key tonight. Wallace, Shire, kick out, Gold. Good ball movement. Comes up empty. Nelson high off the glass. That's sweet.
That was sweet. Hesitation, right, left. Boom, crossover laid off the glass. One-on-one on the open floor. He is one sweet player.
Ray Nelson, 36 points coming into this game in the 2 tournament games played here in Peoria. Shire never forces the issue. Wallace, the lefty, when he gets going, this team is awfully good. Bags a 3.
I'll tell you what, Wallace has 64 threes in the year, but he has been scintillating shooting jump shots here in this tournament. He's really picked up the slack for his team.
We take a look at where these teams are located. Of course, we said the farthest distance between 2 teams in a AA state championship ball game. Northbrook and Carbondale are their homes, Cook County and Jackson County respectively. Glenbrook North has the enrollment advantage. South 7 Conference versus the Central Suburban North. Manuel Cass, they call him Manny. His cousin is NBA star Juwan Howard. Cass just 1 of 3 from the line early.
Great bloodlines there as far as that's concerned. And anytime you have a good gene pool, it gives you that advantage to get started.
Malik Valiani checks into the ball game for Glenbrook North. Just a junior, Manuel Cass, the only junior in this starting lineup.
He will be one of the most highly recruited players in the state of Illinois next year.
Splits his 2 free throws and are scored. At an 8-4 margin for Glenbrook North. Halfway through the first quarter. We'll take a break. We'll be back after these local messages.
Sectional game, 48 points, hit a bunch of threes, penetrated to the basket. He's really special, and he's very competitive. And John is the kind of kid that wants to win at everything he does, and he makes his teammates better, and he makes them more competitive. So I'm hoping he can really make us competitive this weekend.
Dave Weber makes the comment about the 48 points in that super sectional. That is a state record in a super sectional. Broke the previous record of 41 held by Marcus Liberty.
3 state tournament games. He's averaging 36 points a game. Again, 11 above his average. That's when superstars shine.
Gold on the bounce to Shire, clears for room, and he scores his first basket of the night.
See, Shire draws so much attention on the outside. They overplay him. So well coached. He gets a backdoor cut. All alone layup. No weak side rotation by Carbondale. Easy to.
Stephen Haynes into the game for the Terriers. Where's number 40? Big body on the left wing right now.
Fires the rifle pass inside. Nice catch and a foul on Valiani.
I'll tell you what, Haynes gave them really good minutes here in the semifinal game. Great pass on the inside there. He split the defense on the left side. You'll see the finish at the end of that pass, and he draws a foul, gets to the free throw line like good players do. They have great body control with the ability to draw the contact.
Able to give the foul to Matt Gold. As Josh Tebb heads to the line. Tebb had a subpar game in the semis today, just 4 points. That came off a 16-point effort in the quarters.
You know, if this one does go down to the end, Glenbrook North, 80% free throw shooting team. And as Tab missed that one, their team shoots just 62%. Definite advantage to the Spartans there late in the ball game.
They're just 2 of 5 here early on, make that 2 of 6. Tab not a good free throw shooter to begin with. He's 52%. So the margin stays at 6. That's center halfway through the first quarter. Huge crowd across the way of Glenbrook North fans, and they like what they see with Shire on the baseline cut.
It is a basketball clinic, 4 out, 1 in. They continue to do ball screens. And anytime there's a hedge and help, they get a backdoor cut, 2 straight layups off the offensive scheme.
Nelson guarded by Shire, fakes, ripped off by Gold. Shire runs to Wallace. On the reverse.
He felt some pressure right there from DeWalt, so instead of taking on the strong side, risking the block, he goes reverse layup and kisses a great presence of mind. You can't teach that. You only learn it on the playground.
We have only played 4 minutes and 32 seconds, and as you said earlier, Glenbrook North putting on a clinic. They have scored every way imaginable here on the break.
Well, Shire looks up floor, great court vision, and then Wallace with the finish again. You see DeWalt on his tail, but Wallace feels him on his back as well. Goes reverse layup. Transition game right now for Glenbrook North. 14 points in 4.5 minutes. That's the kind of pace they like, and that's the kind of basketball they played today. They can't play much better than they have the semifinals in the first 4.5 minutes here this evening.
6 out of 8 from the field, and you talk about the pace for Glenbrook North, who's making their 5th trip into the tournament, finished in 3rd in 2003. Carbondale looked like they may have gotten caught back on their heels a little bit. They're the ones that like to do the pushing and like to do the breaking.
Well, you know what? Transition defense is so important. And sometimes a team that runs the ball offensively, it sounds strange. You think they might practice against transition defense all the time, but Carbondale, a good transition team, will get 2 looks over their inside shoulder, get back to the paint, fan out, and find the basketball. But that time, Wallace just beat his man down the floor. And how about that vision and ability to think one play ahead by John Shire? He's not only a great scorer, he's not only a great free throw shooter, he's an outstanding passer, a great rebounder. He does it all.
Last year, Jim Miller took his Terriers into the final day of the season, ended up finishing 4th. Carbondale in their history, a couple of second-place finishes in 67 and 94. They're down by 10 here early in the first quarter.
Glenbrook staying straight man-to-man. That's where they've spent the entire weekend.
Tab finds his man inside. Payne goes high off the glass.
So much baskets happen after penetration, and then when the defense rotates up, nice little kick downstairs for easy lay-ins.
Handling the ball is Matt Seamus into the game for Glenbrook North. Shire got a pick, collapsed. Seamus to Radke, to Shire, to Radke, didn't finish. And he's not happy about it.
Opportunities lost right there, but Jonathan Shire once again making a play. Radke's just not able to finish. Has to take the ball up stronger, his shoulder square, and at least get himself to the free throw line right there.
Take a look at the scoring averages. Glenbrook North, you know, we talk about the offense of Shire. They only allow about 45 points per game. Of course, Carbondale, they've been racking the points on the board, about 74 points per game. And Mark referred to the free throw discrepancy percentage. There you see it, 80% to just 63% for the Carbondale Terriers.
Chris Harper, a football recruit for the University of Illinois from Carbondale, checks in. Walking off the floor right now is Ray Nelson, just with some blood on his elbow, so they'll clean that back up, put a Band-Aid on, and they need Nelson in the game with the tournament he's had.
Right now, Carbondale finding it going a little tough inside. DeWalt launches the deep one. With the ball going to the backboard, we go the other way. 14-6, 2:32 left here in the first.
Seen teams all weekend long utilize the ball screen. The good old-fashioned ball screen and roll. When somebody steps out to hedge and help out, people can slip that screen, go to the basket, and get easy ones.
They're waiting waiting and waiting and waiting. Josh Tabb finally draws the personal foul. Just a little bit too much contact. You look at the board, just 6 points here in the first 6 minutes for Carbondale. Certainly not what Jim Miller had in mind. Entry pass to Kelly. Backs his way in. Little jump hook. Banks it. Count it. Zach Kelly has come up big here today. Here he is. Strong move from the 6'7" 210-pound junior. Cleared. Glass. And a free throw coming up. Kelly, season 83% from the line. Pretty nice to have a 6'7" post player knocking him down at that clip. 6 points for Kelly. Lead the biggest of the night at 11.
Straight up man-to-man defense still by Glenbrook North. All double teams on the inside.
Turnover the other way. Boy, this first quarter dominated by the Spartans from Glenbrook North.
It's been basketball perfection by Glenbrook North, both ends of the floor.
Shire snatched off by Tabb, and you see white jerseys wanting to run, green jerseys getting back. DeWalt on the kick out to Philip Bain. Yes, for three.
I tell you what, when Philip Bain has a chance to square up, get his 1-2 step, and get the ball right in the shooting pocket, he is almost automatic. What a great stroke he indeed has.
Not necessarily a great three-point shooting team. Bain leads the way now with 42 three-pointers on the season.
He individually shoots 44% from the arc. That's their go-to guy from outside.
Kelly looking to get a kind roll. It hung there for a while. Kelly still fights. Oh, and it would not go for him that time. Talk about battling inside, and Jim Miller's hot. He thought that ball was up over the backboard. He thought that should not have even this play should not even have occurred. Back on December 19th, Terriers held to just 45 points against Centralia. As we said, they can score as well.
I think what Coach Miller was upset about is he thought Philip Bain had, they call the rule verticality. His arms were straight up and Kelly jumped into him. But the official said no, he got his arms out just a little bit, and thus, anytime you're inside, you get the call 90% of the time.
Ray Nelson back into the game as that elbow taped up. Shire will sit down for the last 61 seconds.
Kelly and Gold for Glenbrook North do a lot of the dirty work, a lot of the pushing and shoving around the boards, banging bodies on defense, and Shire does the rest along with Wallace on offense.
Zach Kelly averages 7 points per game. He had 4 points in the quarterfinals, 2 earlier today. He has 8 points here in the first 7 minutes of this state championship game.
You know, they think he's a low mid-major kind of player, an outstanding student, big academic student, and, you know, a very cerebral play he just made down there, and he's stepping up at showtime.
Cass catches and scores.
There's that entry into the paint. When they get the ball into the war zone there, they're a very, very good basketball team. They got to get it there on a consistent basis. They're not going to be able to win from the perimeter.
Sean Wallace, who had checked out moments ago, back into the game, along with Matt Gold. And Seamus has it. Down to 30 in the first quarter of your 2005 AA Boys State Championship game.
You would think with Shire out, what's going to be a set play for Wallace. They'll probably put him down low with about 12, 14 seconds to go, then run him off a screen.
And half-court stripe is an extra defender. Now we're down to the final 10. Valiani set up Wallace. Valiani battles, and that will close out our first quarter. The Glenbrook North Spartans have to like what they have seen. They have racked up 19 points, and they lead by 8 after 1.
All right, Dave, thanks a lot. We're up here with the Spartan Psychos, and you can see they welcome you right in. I love what they've done with my hair. Now, not only are they psycho, they're very knowledgeable when it comes to basketball. 40 seconds left in the quarter. They all start yelling one shot. So they know their stuff up here. Back to you.
You know, I might look into that hair situation. All we need is maybe a little bit different color. I'll tell you that one thing
He
about
looks better though.
yeah.
That was a big improvement.
You know, one thing about those fans, Spartans have come out in force in this tournament. Great to see a lot of green and gold up there in the upper reaches here of Carver Arena.
Nelson on Shire one-on-one. How much bumping and grinding will he do, and how much help will he get? They should put a body on Shire every time he cuts through the lane.
A skip to gold. Well, he had Nelson turned around. They finally get the ball to Shire, looking for the foul. Never came. Here comes DeWalt. Michael DeWalt goes coast to coast.
I'll tell you what, both of these teams are so good in transition. He took the ball as deep as he could before he was stopped, and nobody wanted to get in his way. Didn't want to risk the block charge, so DeWalt goes and gets the finish at 84 for 94 feet.
And you know what was great about that was he was ready to dish at any time, as Shire did there, and it leads to 3 from Sean Wallace.
And that's definitely playground material right there. Shire sets it up, he draws the defense, and Wallace spots it up and says, thank you very much for the finish.
So the fast break bucket is more than negated by the 3 from Wallace. Sean Wallace has 8 points. Haynes has it stripped inside. Cass. Loose ball to Haynes. Glenbrook North with a 9-point lead in the ball here early in the second quarter.
Ball screen handoff, good spacing.
Jonathan Shire sets up Gold wide open. Ring it up.
I'll tell you what, dial it up, bring it up. Inside out, Jonathan Shire starting to rack up assists. Everybody else racking up baskets.
They just gave that one to Matt Gold. Terriers look to score in the form of DeWalt. And an offensive foul. Everything going Glenbrook North's way.
You talk about role players. Radke just averages less than 2 points a game, but he took a good charge there. He's had a couple nice tips. He's done a pretty good job on the inside defensively. Everybody has a role to play in a championship game. They know who their marquee player is, Glenbrook North does, but everybody else has a role to play, and they're playing it in a superlative fashion right now.
Talk about Zach Gold shooting from three-point range. He had 4 3-pointers in the semifinals earlier today. Biggest lead of the game at 12. Shire flying. A lot of fresh legs out there. Dial it up. Jonathan Shire goes long distance.
5 out of 10 are the Spartans from the arc, and that makes anybody a smart basketball team and a well-executing basketball team to shoot the ball like that.
Nelson looking to create, and he does.
Awful lot of athleticism on the floor right now.
On the skip. Shire thought about it there. Steps in. Taken off by Haynes. Remember, all 5 of these starters averaging double figures. Valiani goes down, and Cass standing over him. It is Manuel Cass.
Yeah, coaches love balance. Ray Nelson, 10.5. Josh Tabb, 12.5. Philip Fain, 12. Michael DeWalt, 10. Manuel Cass, the leading scorer, was 16, but you can't ask much more for that. They average 73 of the team. This is a team that likes to get it up and down.
Ooh, Manuel Cass. That was a little frustration there.
Manuel Cass right now, the All-State candidate. Only 1 basket, 2 points, and 3 shot attempts, and only 1 rebound. And they're going to check him out right now and try to regroup his head mentally.
It's his second foul, and it came within a span of about 2 seconds. Philip Fain also has 2 fouls for the Terriers from Carbondale.
Carbondale run and jump right now. They're trying to get some double teams and try to stop the tempo and rhythm. It's not trying to steal the ball, but get Glenbrook North out of the extreme rhythm and tempo they're in right now. They're really feeling it in flow.
We talked about in the pregame confidence, and you can tell that's happening in the face of Glenbrook North, and why not? A 13-point lead midway through the second quarter. All Spartans, Jonathan Shire making it go. We're back after this local timeout. Having fun in Peoria. This is the 10th year the tournament's been here. Anybody you talk to has been very happy they've come down. Wallace a little bit off on that 3 attempt.
Glenbrook North in the midst of a 9-2 run that has covered the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds. They busted this one open a little bit.
Turnover on the bounce pass inside. One thing about Glenbrook North, they make a lot of good decisions. One of the good decisions is getting the ball to number 23.
All he's done is make 19 consecutive free throws since he came down here from Peoria. Once again, this whole thing starts. Jonathan Shire at the end of the play with a slash to the basket, using his body control to get the ball off the glass. But it started with transition once again. If there's such a thing as perfect basketball, Glenbrook North is playing it right now.
8 points for Shire.
10 out of 19, shooting 52%, 5 out of 11 for the arc. They have just 1 turnover, 9 baskets, or 9 assists in their 10 baskets.
Wow.
That is team play. That tells you they're finding the open man, and guys are moving like crazy away from the basketball to free themselves and each other.
Now 5 of 5 from the free throw line for the Spartans. You just can't put too many better numbers on the board, and it results in the scoreboard doubling up Carbondale here midway through the second quarter.
We got almost a capacity house, and I don't think anybody believed we'd have this kind of score at this juncture of the basketball game. We thought we'd go down the wire. We still might, but not the way Glenbrook North is playing.
Haynes being pushed out a little bit. Now he'll use his bulk inside with a sweet little turnaround.
Show a little bit of ball to his right and then spun back to his left shoulder where he felt some pressure, but had enough strength at 200 to get that ball in the hose.
Carbondale having a little trouble stepping into any passing lanes with a great motion here from Glenbrook North. Shire clears and hits.
And that he did. He just waited and waited and waited. Ray Nelson went flying by. He says goodbye for just a minute. Hits both feet, elevates, and finishes.
Very quietly, Jonathan Shire now with the 11 points. Shire this morning had 24 points in limited playing time, the blowout win over Rockford Jefferson. He gets in the way of Nelson and then just kind of reached back, and Jonathan Shire picks up the personal foul. The 7-year itch. Now, take a look at this. The St. Louis KMOX shootout. This is one of the great shootouts in the country. 1991, Whitney Young participated in that. Hey, they won the state championship. 98, Proviso East, they won the state championship. Guess who played in the KMOX shootout this year? Both of these two teams. Carbondale, Glenbrook North, every 7 years. The participant has gone on to win the Illinois state title.
So they're lining up for 2012 right now to get in that one. I want a ticket for that. If that all it takes to guarantee you a state title, everybody's going to try to get in.
Dave Weber talked about seeing Carbondale at that shootout. That's one thing that Jim Miller did too, really upgraded his schedule. Even though he finished 4th last year and returned only 1 starter, he figured that he would have a better team this year. It's played out that way, 31-2, winners of 18 in a row.
Well, Nelson and Tab coming in helped them quite a bit, but the good job they've done is put the chemistry together with that team.
It looks so easy when he gets himself set. Jonathan Shire, 14 points, 2 3-pointers, a 16-point Spartan lead.
That time he went to his left, and he was still able to square up. Many shooters can square up going to their right because that's the natural way. But when you go to your left, that is an outstanding basketball player that can do that at that age.
And now Carbondale really having a tough time getting into any offensive flow in a half court. That's not Haynes' shot. A little frustration there. Michael Haynes. He's only made 1 3-pointer this season.
1-4 low right here. Shire gets to do his thing.
Inside to Valiani. He doesn't score much. When he gets that deep, he knows where to go with it.
Great entry pass on the outside. Valiani was a recipient of that. He'll get the chance to go to the foul line.
Carbondale carrying the weight of the Deep South on their shoulders. The last time that we had a Class AA state championship, that's when East St. Louis Lincoln went on that run. Last one in 1889, and from the Deep South,
you have to go all the way back to 1957 when Heron defeated Collinsville 45-42, and that was still in our single-class system. That ball game played in Huff Gym in Champaign. So it's a pretty heavy burden to bear going all the way back to 1957.
You know, Glenbrook North doing such a good job on offense. A lot of people think you play the game fast. Sometime on offense, you're supposed to play slow. You walk your man into a screen, and you go slow, slow, quick, quick, almost like the old dance step, if you will. And that change of pace, even in your cuts, can really wear on a defender. And then you put it into that next level, and you have a chance to free yourself.
A lot of traffic in the lane. A couple of free throws coming up.
Tell you what, Haynes has really given them some good minutes here today. And if they can get Haynes and Cass going at the same time, Cass on the bench right now, I don't know if he's on the bench with a little bit of frustration or if it's a two-foul situation, but if it's 2 fouls, I'd have to think twice because you're down 17. You can't save it much for the second half. They got to get those two going in tandem.
Stephen Haynes to the line. He's a 6'3", 200-pound junior. Been a substitution pattern that Dave Weber has made in this tournament. With about a minute and a half to go, Jonathan Shire has a seat, and of course it's kind of a nice situation when you're up by 16. Can afford to rest a young man who has 14 points.
But I am surprised he rested him here on that end of the floor when he's going to go down on offense right now. I don't know if I'd have the ability to do that in my heart.
As soon as that whistle blew, I had my eye on Dave Weber, the head coach for Glenbrook North, and he was very quickly saying 1 and 1, 1 and 1. And why not? Your team shoots 80% from the line. Your team shoots 80%. Well, Dave Weber, his older brother, won a ball game today. Bruce guided the win for the University of Illinois over Nevada.
They say you can't win a championship without being a great free throw shooting team, and Glenbrook North is every bit of that.
Why don't we take a look at Sean Wallace's numbers on the season? 92%. He came into this tournament making 45 of 49 free throws.
And he shoots 40% from the arc. So not only does he make 65, but he shoots 40% when he does attempt it.
I have a better number for you on Wallace. 33 ACT.
Heavy number.
The wall cut off and double team. Sharon Greer into the game for Carbondale. This is Haynes. Boy, he's working hard, isn't he?
They get him the ball in the paint right now. He's been very effective, but there's not a whole lot of movement away from the basketball by Carbondale. I think they were pretty active early on, but Glenbrook North was jumping out in front of every cut, really took away their initial offensive scheme. In the last few minutes of this basketball game, there's been a lot of standing around and just posting up by Haynes. That's been effective, but they need more movement from all 5 people. We talked about their balance. They don't have very much of that right now.
Only 20 points on the board.
You're going to try to make a run here. You almost have to go back to your game plan in Carbondale, and I think you'll see some full court pressure, maybe put a center fielder in there, try to be an interceptor and try to trap the basketball. The bad news is, again, they're such a good free throw shooting team. If you have some pressure in the backcourt, you pick up a foul, it's almost an automatic 2.
Haynes knocks down his 4th free throw in a row. And Carbondale would like nothing more than to try to get this game at about 10 points here before that halftime horn goes off.
Great set play by Glenbrook North, but Carbondale answer is a back screen, then a downstream kick out. They wanted a shot for Wallace, not there. Good job by Carbondale defending it, so Glenbrook North says, okay, we'll go to the passing game, spread it out, and they might go last shot unless they get a backdoor cut, which they've done so effectively here in the first half on overplays.
Valianian simple handoff. 14-point lead as Seamus will say, you know what, we like it. We can work this clock down a little bit.
They still might get something off a backdoor cut before all is said and done.
Carbondale may not get the ball back here in this quarter. They've gone 4 minutes, Carbondale has, without a field goal. Ron Greer with a little bump right there. He didn't like it. Carbondale fans didn't care much for it either. They didn't have as good of angle as we did right here in front of us.
And you're literally 45 feet from the basket with 10 seconds to go. They've used 50 seconds of clock, shorten the game, getting to halftime. And who do they put to the free throw line with that 90%er you talked about, who just buried a couple about a minute and a half ago? They're 7 for 9 right now. Their average is 80%, well documented. We said it before. And these are almost automatic points for Glenbrook North.
Miller reminding his club, 11.3 on the scoreboard clock. 2 for Wallace. He has 11 points. So both Shire and Wallace in double figures here in the first half.
I know Lee Hall's going to talk to Dave Weber. I wonder if he could ask him, have they ever played a better first half? I mean, this has been a textbook half of basketball. Did they save their best for last?
Put in the hands of Nelson. Ray Nelson fouled with 3 seconds left.
And he'll be mad about that play. With 3 seconds to go. He'll like the other 15 minutes and 57 seconds, I flat out guarantee you.
Take a look at Ray Nelson. He's been trying to create here most of this first half.
We talked about Ray Nelson at the top. You know, he had that 18-point game average, 19 and 17 respectively the first 2 games. He didn't miss a shot this afternoon, so he's trying to carry his team on his back here right now. He's not only trying to win a state title, but he's just trying to get some looks from some colleges as well. He's had a very good tournament, and I think he's opened some eyes down here. He's had some Division I interest. It might be picking up. The phone might ring next week.
He was a transfer from Century High School along with Josh Tabb coming into the school year. Seamus will travel, not enough time to do much, 0.2 seconds, 0.2 of a second.
Well, they can't catch and shoot. It has to be a tip only, so if they're going to try anything at all, they got to throw the ball to the goal. It's impossible to score off a catch and shoot.
But it's good practice. Talking about practice, how about Glenbrook North? Dominant first half, 38-24, the halftime score, outscoring Carbondale 19-13 in the second quarter. Lee Hall standing by with head coach Dave Weber.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave. Coach, they wanted me to ask you if this is the best first half you guys have played all year, but I saw a pretty good first half out of you this afternoon, too. That might have been the best one today.
I think this is the best we've played all year. There's no question about that. We're doing a great job offensively. We're hitting our open shots, and hopefully that'll continue.
24 points first half. The defense been outstanding.
Yes, we're taking the charge. We're containing it well. We're containing their penetration as best we can, and we're able to, you know, make them take some difficult shots. We just can't foul them on those shots.
First 10 baskets, you had 9 assists. That's outstanding sharing of the basketball.
Yeah, we're really doing a nice job of that. And they're playing Shire really tough. He'll distribute it, and he'll get our other guys some open looks.
All right, Coach, good luck to you second half. All right, Dave, back to you.
That's a happy man that will just watching that scoreboard clock wind its way down in the second half. He's got a 14-point lead going into the locker room. More halftime here at Carver Arena right after this. Two teams that checked in with 31-2 records, battling for the state title, and right now it belongs at least halfway through to Glenbrook North. But we've got some awards to pass out from the third and fourth place finishers, and for that, let's pick it up with Paul Herzog.
And Greg Bradley of Mount Zion, board-appointed treasurer. Presenting the third place medallions will be John McGraw, assisted by Jim Boyd, and presenting the third place trophy will be Jim Quaid. Presenting the fourth place medallions will be Catherine Finch, assisted by Ron Connor. The fourth place trophy presentation will be by Terrence Martin. At this time, please meet the Jayhawks of Rockford, who finished the season in fourth place with a record of 23-10. First, meet the principal of Jefferson High School, Angelina Bua. Athletic Director, Allison Bright. Head Coach, Mike Winters. Assistant Coach, Gordy Casper. Assistant Coach, Ron Adams. Assistant coach, Chris Dixon. Assistant coach, Franklin Craig. Team assistant, Tyler McCaslin. Athletic trainer, Brett Holmertz. And now the Jayhawk players. Number 2, Joe Herron. 3, Brandon Fisher. 4, Josh Pickens. 12, Mario Stuckey. 21, Robert Eppinger. 22, Matt Feary. 23, Brandon Wright. 31, Ben Peeler. 32, Mike Rellerford. 33, Chad Guglielmetti. 42, Devin Sims. 50, Patrick Nelson. 00, Matt Peterson. The Jayhawks of Rockford Jefferson, 4th place, 2005 Class AA boy. At this time, please meet the Mustangs of Downers Grove South, who finished the season in 3rd place, a record of 30-4. The principal, Dr. Mark McDonald. Athletic director, Todd Cassins. Head coach, Paul Runyon. Assistant coach, John Stapleton. Assistant coach, Jay Baum. Assistant coach, Mike Morrow. Athletic trainer, Marianne Fronsack. Here are the Mustang players. 5, Jim Lesiak. 10, Brian Mullins. 20, John O'Malley. 21, Dan Miller. 24, Brad Riegler. 30, TJ Enright. 31, Chris Dunda. 32, Colin Gilreath. 33, John Lee. 34, Tom Graziano. 35, Chris Sims. 42, Bobby Laveri. 45, Colin Rubin. 50, Elliot Engelman. 52, Chris Caldwell. the Mustangs of Downers Grove South, third place, 2005 Class A boys. And now will Coach Winters and the captains of Jefferson please step forward and receive the fourth place trophy. Congratulations, Rockford Jefferson. And now will Coach Runyon and the captains of Downers Grove South step forward and receive the third place trophy. Congratulations, the Mustangs of Downers Grove South.
Congratulations to Rockford Jefferson and Downers Grove South. That's right, those trophies get to head into their trophy case. Third place, that's what those three fingers are all about. We've got a first place game to decide. But first, we'll take a break and be back after these local messages. Back to Carver Arena, halftime here as Glenbrook North holding the 38-24 advantage against Carbondale. And happy you've joined us here for the state championship game. Dave Bernhardt along with Mark Lindo. And Mark, you said it early, it's been a clinic in the first half for the Spartans.
Well, they got 10 assists, Glenbrook North does, and 12 baskets. They have multiple people scoring. Obviously, Jonathan Shire, the leading scorer, but everyone's been involved both offensively and defensively. That's a sign of a championship team. They finished at the end in transition. It's been a fun first half for your Spartan fans.
Well, how fun is it? Let's take a look at the numbers in the first half. Great shooting, and that's where it begins tonight for Glenbrook North.
Well, there's no doubt. 5 out of 11 for the arc. That makes you look smart. They've surprisingly out-rebounded Carbondale. That was supposed to be their strength, but there is that aforementioned 10 assists and 12 baskets. That means they're distributing the basketball.
Flip it over the other way. 8 points off turnovers, 10 points in the paint for Carbondale. They need more.
They certainly do. They had 30 this morning, and we said they needed to get back inside. Cass has been relatively quiet. He's got to step it up along with that help from Haynes on the inside.
Leading scorers in this game, and who's surprised about Jonathan Shire leading the way along with Sean Wallace. Zach Kelly came up big, and Ray Nelson needs a bit more help in order for Carbondale to get themselves back in it. So the Terriers will break out of their locker room any moment, and they'll have to come like a pack of angry dogs. They've got some points to make up. We'll be back right after these local messages from Carver Arena. 14-point difference at the half here in your 2005 AA State Championship ball game. Let's take a look back at that first half. A half that was dominated by the green jerseys. That's the Spartans, and this guy right here, Jonathan Shire.
Oh, he skates the baseline, throws up, and he gets to a spot-up shooter, and they were 5 out of 11 in the first half. Shire made that play, and then the finish. Then Wallace with a nice little skip pass. The look inside. That's great inside-out basketball, and Zach Kelly's a recipient of inside-out play.
Sean Wallace on the baseline drive. This was off a fast break. One of the few times they've been able to do that.
And the breakdown dribble there, the lead in, the kiss off the glass. A nice individual play by Ray Nelson, who has to step it up even more so.
Tab on the feed inside, and the finish by Philip Fain. We did not see many of those. Here was Manuel Cass before he got into foul trouble with the nice little bank off the glass. Let's go to Lee Hall.
Miller of Carbondale. Coach, how do you get back in this ball game down 14 at halftime?
We have to get stops. That first half, we just didn't get any stops, and we didn't get any transition baskets. We got to do a better job at the defensive end, containing three-point shots, getting out and contesting, and rebounding. Once we rebound, we got to get up and down the floor.
All right, Coach, good luck to you second
Very
half.
nuts.
All right, we'll be back with second half action after this on the IHSA TV network.
To cut into this sometime here in the next first 4 or 5 minutes, get it down to 6 or 8 to a workable situation.
That's pretty quick work right there from Manuel Cass. Carbondale in unfamiliar territory, at least as far as this tournament's concerned. They've led their 2 wins here over Crane and Downers Grove South, wire to wire. And now they're playing catch-up.
Well, that entry to Cass was definitely by design. Jim Miller knows he's got an all-stater shooting about 60% from the floor. They got to get him touches inside. That's only his 4th shot of the evening.
This ball flies all over the floor in Glenbrook North. Cass up high. Here come the Terriers. And that was another message. We have to get the tempo to our favor as they hurry down the floor. Josh Tabb, strong, scores.
Josh Tabb's got to get it going. That's his first field goal, his first attempt But you know, he's their leading scorer. SIU signed it. He's got to get it going as well.
2 Spartans down. The numbers belong to Carbondale. Here they come. Nelson takes it up on Kelly. The hesitation at the start of that play may have cost Carbondale. They had 2 men down for Glenbrook North and then hesitated a little bit before they really took it hard down the floor.
Carbondale, though, very early in this half, starting to pull on full court pressure now, picking up the pace of the game. And they said it's our time to come and get and make our run early on in this second half.
Backdoor cut. Pretty.
Hey, Petey Carrill from Princeton fame would be happy with the way Glenbrook North runs his 3 backdoor baskets here tonight on the overplay by Carbondale.
Nelson creates on the baseline. He all of a sudden has 9 points after a slow start.
Right baseline, stop, go, attacks the basket, flies to the 10 and finishes. Just great acceleration to the rim.
14-point halftime lead has been cut to 10, 2 minutes into the third quarter. Shire finds Kelly, it's stripped. A 3-on-2. Carbondale with some a little bit more lively legs here in the opening moments.
Shire with a nice enter to Kelly, but right there was Ray Nelson with the low block. He kicked it out to Josh Tabb, who got transition going for the Terriers. So the Dogs are out and running early on.
Cass did not play much in the second quarter. Shire finds Wallace ahead. That was too easy.
Cherry Pickett, he got the finish, and again, good vision and insight by Glenbrook North to look up the floor.
Wallace is sneaky. Nobody even knew he was back there. Nelson went hard on Shire. 1 to create, 2 to try to get the big man in some foul trouble, and that time Shire picks up the foul. You like the state tournament, you like Illinois basketball, then you'll love this book. Sweet Charlie, Dyke, Cassie, and Bobby Joe, Taylor Bell's book covering 6 decades of Illinois high school basketball, 60 stories in all. Thornridge, the best ever. Beacon, Cobden, Collinsville, that, and a whole lot more. You can get your copy at ihsa.org/bell.
Jim Miller brought his team out with a mindset. Number 1, get the ball to Manuel Cass. Manuel Cass, pick us up and be an all-stater. Number 2, Ray Nelson and Josh Tabb, use your athleticism and get the ball to the rack. And right now they're attacking the rack without hesitation. Much more aggressive approach offensively they had in the first half.
Jim Miller in his 7th year at Carbondale, 148 wins and 59 losses. Previous coaching stops at Wilmington and at Fairfield.
2nd consecutive year they played on Saturday night, though.
Tough to survive free throw misses at this situation of the game. Rough pass from Radke to goal.
Radke didn't want to handle that basketball. He had no choice. You can almost see the turnover developing.
Great save by Fain.
Carbondale right now getting to every loose ball.
Carbondale's made a little headway. They've cut 2 points off that 14-point halftime lead. 5 minutes left. We're back after these local words. East Washington Street in East Peoria. Nelson on Shire again. And I think we may see an awful lot of that here in the second half.
That came out of the timeout by Jim Miller. He went 1-4 low, got the ball back to Nelson on top and said, let's play 1-4, flatten it out, and see if he can play you one-on-one.
John Shire trying to return the favor, and he does.
What a great shot as he was able to float in the air, stop any kind of contact, and elevate himself, flying to his left and finish.
Tabb goes hard to the basket.
Right now, Carbondale just flat out using athleticism right now. They're just attacking the basket. You see Tabb with a quick first step. He just leaves in his track. Matt Gold beats him to the basket, then draws a foul underneath. So a little bit late help. Gold gets a foul, but it was Gold that was beaten on the outside by the quickness in the first step of Tabb.
Tabb, a 52% free throw shooter, missed his only 2 attempts tonight. Valiani into the game for Glenbrook North. Take a look at the shoes on Josh Tabb. That's the thing to do now, isn't it? Right on your shoes.
There's no doubt. I don't know what those say. I know Matt Gold on his shoes, it says no more injuries. He had an ankle injury, a wrist injury, a thumb injury, and he wrote on his own shoes, no more injury. I don't know what Tabb's got on his.
Opportunity here to get within 10. Cass poked in the eye. He's down. Here's Wallace. Gold sees a better opportunity underneath to Radke. Jonathan Radke can't finish it off, but he's going to shoot a couple of free throws as Manuel Cass kind of got scraped in the eye down on the offensive end.
Great team play, as you're right. Radke had the ball on the outside. He had it all lined up, but instead he saw somebody, or excuse me, Gold, he saw somebody back underneath, that being Radke, and the extra pass gets into the foul line.
You know, and that's not just a minor play, because Gold, as we said, had 4 3-pointers in the semifinal game today. He stuck one tonight. He was wide open, but he just thought there was something better ahead of him.
Well, teammates respect each other, trust each other, and when you have that trust, you know if you're open, you're going to get the basketball, and then you return the favor by setting a good screen or making a good cut for your buddy. That's what it's all about. Trust on the floor. That's how you win championships.
See, not great offensive numbers from Radke. He's a defensive specialist. He's a good, strong body inside. 6'5" junior. In fact, his starting lineup for Glenbrook North, 3 of them are juniors. Matt Gold, a senior, he picks the board off the missed free throw. Pretty good nucleus heading back. Here's a returning starter for Carbondale, Michael DeWalt, the only returning starter for last year's 4th place club. And the lead back at 10.
DeWalt playing the passing lane, got his right hand out, tipped it out to himself, and then the race down the floor, and he won it, finishes points off turnovers and transition points all at the same time.
Motion, cut, layup.
Great offensive team. What they did right there is, as Valiani dribbled at Shire, that makes the defense turn his head. Then Shire made the backdoor cut, the 4th in the night for a basket for Glenbrook North.
Stephen Haynes pumps. Wanted a call, didn't get it. Jonathan Shire with the rebound. Shire with 19 points.
I think one of the game keys too, Glenbrook North more than holding their own the boards. 18-13 advantage. Carbondale thought they would need to dominate in that area. Instead, Glenbrook North winning the glass.
Chris Harper uses it. DeWalt. Now remember, Carbondale doesn't like to shoot a lot of threes. They are not necessarily adept at it.
Seems like Carbondale has really picked up the action, the intensity, the tempo, yet they've only cut 2 points into the lead. That's the frustrating part.
Tabb can't get it to go. Had that good look inside. And the Spartans from Glenbrook North will have it as Stephen Haynes. Boy, he is a hustler. Very intense player. Strong body, works hard. And you're right, Mark, a basket here, and it's like you're back at halftime again, at least the halftime margin. However, you've used up 6 minutes in the 3rd quarter, and there's the bounce from Valiani to Shire. That's so pretty.
Set play called from the sideline by Coach Weber. He called high post. Valiani knew he was going to have a cutter on the backside. The 5th backdoor basket. Are you kidding me?
There, that was the proverbial watermelon seed right there.
And one reason Glenbrook North is such a great team, if you don't overplay, if you allow the catch in the wing, they'll hit jump shots. So you overplay and try to deny, and then they get backdoor cuts.
I mean, look at this scrap here. I believe there were 10 different players that touched that ball at one time.
You know, you got to love that. That's just a big part of basketball. That's how you get to this level or any level, is just, you know, the relentless ability to go after the ball and give yourself up for the team right there. Rugby scrum.
That's Seamus into the ball game. Blake Valiani. Shire got caught in the air, but Wallace is He's there to track it down. Even when Shire gets caught like that, he always finds someone.
Well, he's got great balance, body control, and presence of mind to keep up there.
We're going to get 3 free throws out of this one.
That was from about 24 feet. He got fouled by Ray Nelson. And you're fouling a guy that's 19 out of 19 from the arc. Or excuse me, from the free throw line in this tournament.
Jonathan Shire, just a junior, considered one of the nation's very top juniors, a starter down here a couple of years ago when Dave Weber's club made their first appearance here, a third-place finish. He has another year of high school.
Quick, Dave, without looking, how many points does he have?
23.
That's I didn't know if you had the score.
No, I had it right in front of me.
Okay,
I cheated.
see, you cheated on me, but you know what? My point was, I think it's a quiet 23 tonight. He just scores. He just scores. You don't notice him. He's a very unassuming young man, but he gets the ball in the bucket everywhere you can. Jump shots, lean-ins, tip-ins, free throws, you name it. You know, there's guys that can shoot, there's guys that can dunk, and there's guys that can score. He is a scorer.
And at the same time, he makes everybody around him better. A very unique player. You know, for folks that are getting their first opportunity to see Jonathan Shire, my guess is you're going to get out to some games next year and see him with a little more frequency. If you're a basketball purist, you just love the things he does.
He plays the game like you cannot teach, just innate ability.
17 points, the largest lead. Shire has scored the last 7. Glenbrook North. And Valiani is hurting. And the Carbondale fans are cheering.
When you talk about an All-American, he takes his team 7 consecutive points. And just ability to make plays. And as you said, he's not only a great passer, but he moves so well without the basketball. And every time he moves, you know what? 2 or 3 defenders chase him, and that opens up other people. That's why Glenbrook North gets so many easy shots and looks from each other, and they give the ball up to each other so well. Great balance inside, outside between Kelly and Gold and Wallace knocking down threes. What a complete basketball team.
Valiani out, Shire back in. Has that wrist and thumb area taped up a little bit.
Glenbrook North's 2 losses.
Back to back, in effect, about 9 days apart, but 2 consecutive games against Thornton and Evanston. That was back on December 18th and December 27th, respectively. In fact, that loss to Evanston came in the first game of the Proviso West Holiday Tournament and relegated them to the consolation bracket. John Shire scored 41 points in that ball game, but since then it's been a pretty good run, 21 straight. And the key game, if you have Dave Weber, what was the key game in the season? When did you really think you had a chance to play for the state championship? He continually points to the February 12th game against Milwaukee Vincent out of Wisconsin. 5-time state champions Wisconsin. They were without Matt Gold in that game, and they won. And all of a sudden they looked around and said, hey, you know what? We could win Illinois, too.
Yeah, there's a time where you know your team can be special. Well, sometimes it's very early in the season, sometimes it's mid, sometimes it's really late. But that's the one that he points at as knowing his team can be special. And I'm sure he referred to that game many times along the tournament trail.
A lot of players beat up tonight. Manny Cass, a little bit of medicinal decoration on his head. Now Shire will come in replacing Seamus. They had to get their substitutions all worked out.
Physicality has become so important in the game of basketball. That's why there's so much emphasis on weight training and strength training and proper diet and such. It's not a non-contact sport like it was 25, 30 years ago. There are big bodies banging all around. When you're going through the lane, you're getting hand checked, you're getting redirected. You have to be able to take the hits and still score.
Cass with 7 points. Now they match Nelson on Wallace. Inside Kelly. They've taken the clock down the final minute of each of the first 2 quarters. Like they may think about that again here.
Great basketball. They can throw it inside out, good entry pass. They go back to the weak side. They spread the floor. They reverse the defense. Then they go into a passing game. A lot of reversals up top. A lot of ball handoffs off the dribble.
Very, very difficult here for Carbondale to defend this.
Carbondale with just 2 fouls. They might want to think about a foul to give.
With 22 seconds left in the third quarter, Glenbrook North calls a timeout. John Radke was probably the last man they wanted to have handle the ball near half court.
Yeah, that was not a timeout to set up a play. That was a timeout that was predicated by the fact that Radke was trapped out front. One of the few times they've been confused all night long.
1968, Evanston taking the title, and right now Glenbrook North trying to become the first team since 68. So we've had a drought in the far north and the far south. That drought's going to be, you know, kind of washed in tonight as this game is being played between two teams farthest apart that any two teams have ever played the AA state championship ball game.
Well, Glenbrook North's going to bring it to the North Shore tonight, it looks like. I mean, we still have some basketball league play, but they have just, you know, they took one little punch where the tempo really picked up early in the third quarter by Carbondale slashing the ball in the basket, but Glenbrook North weathered that first storm and actually extended their lead at this point and continues to get good play and good balance.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the express written consent of the Illinois High School Association and cost broadcast sales is strictly prohibited.
You know, Dave, we continue to talk about Glenbrook North and their ability to distribute the basketball. We've kind of alluded to this stat a couple times tonight. Now they have 17 baskets, 14 assists. So get the calculator out on how many times people are creating individually. Hardly at all. Everything is created off a screen or a cut. Team basketball.
Wouldn't you love to see the percentage? I mean, that should be a new statistic. I mean, not everybody keeps assists, I know, but that's an amazing number right there. Wallace didn't quite get the back door high enough.
Valiani set a back screen on the weak side for Shire to dunk at the buzzer, but Wallace just didn't get enough oomph in the alley.
Shire has to hurry. Glenbrook North won the first quarter. They won the second quarter, and they have stretched their lead, winning the third at the end of 3 quarters of play. Glenbrook North, 52-36, 8 minutes away from a state championship. Young and old, they all come to Peoria when it's state championship weekend. I think those teeth, I think we'll get some new teeth coming in here soon. Big crowd here tonight. They've come to watch the state championship ball game, but the largest crowd of them all is wearing an awful lot of gold, and they extend up into the high reaches of Carver Arena. That's Glenbrook North, and here are your third quarter statistics. Still shooting at 57%, that's Glenbrook North.
And that's exactly what they shot this morning. So back-to-back games where they're 56.5 to 57%. That's how you win a state semi. That's how you win a state championship. What consistency on the last day of the season.
Well, it's offensive execution that puts you in a position to shoot that way. Pretty much now or never for the Terriers from Carbondale.
Glenbrook North comes out, really extending the floor, running their offense about 45 feet away from the basket, going to spread it. They'll say, we'll get to the free throw line if you need you. Come chase us. Use some clock, and you will see some kind of backdoor cut before it's all over.
Didn't have to wait long, did we? Tough angle for Shire. Michael DeWalt has been quiet tonight. Cass has had a heck of a time in the lane tonight.
He's had bodies on him all day today, morning and night, semi and final. People have really put their body on Cass, not trying to let him get going.
Here comes Tab. DeWalt launches. Cass, ring it up.
Great play by Cass, who had great timing on the jump, cleaned up DeWalt's miss, strong, drew the foul, but was strong enough to get that thing back up. He knew there was a high rebound. He got that one above the rim, laid it back in, drew the foul, and Cass is going to have to come up big if they're going to come back in this one. He's only had 9 points on the evening thus far.
And that basket by Manuel Cass ends a 5-minute drought for Carbondale without a field goal. 5 minutes without putting the ball in the hole from the field.
Extended period of time in a state championship game against a team like Glenbrook North. You just have to be more consistent, make every trip down the floor count.
Carbondale 11 of 21 from the line tonight.
And that's been a problem for them all year, so 62%, so that's not an aberration. That's more the norm.
Clock can keep on ticking here as far as the Spartans are concerned.
Dave Weber into his motion game right now, and they're going to pull it back out and extend it and say, come chase us. You'll see a lot of screening and cutting away from the basketball.
Now, the early moments of the third quarter, I thought there was a lot of life in Carbondale's legs. They seem to have lost that a little bit now, though. They get the turnover here. Tough place for Cass to catch. And it's an offensive foul. Wipe out the basket.
I'll tell you what, good officiating, though. I don't know, the one official looked at the other to make sure he had the right call, the right angle. Block charge, toughest call in basketball, so no decision here. I know when you're on the sideline which way you want it your way, but good officiating because they made sure that they had their mechanics correct.
You know, the thing that's impressive about that, Mark, is these are not crews that work together all season long. They're the best that get put together here for the tournament. Another turnover. Can Tab capitalize? Yes.
And that was certainly a block, and Tab just slashes the basket again. And you know, you talk about the fact that they're down by 12 right now. They've expended so much energy to get back in. Tab right now finds a man sliding in, could not get to the spot, draws the foul, and again, has the ability to hang in the air and finish. But you were talking about that. They had those legs early on, but they just didn't catch up. It's got to be so frustrating. They came out with energy and could not put a dent into that lead.
Biggest lead has been 17. See Tab's numbers. He's had a tough day here on the final Saturday of the basketball season. Only had 4 points this afternoon against Downers Grove North.
Carbondale's got to get something out of their full court pressure. Not just put it on, but they've got to create some turnovers and get some transition out of that and turn the tempo of the game around.
They have not been underneath double-digit deficit since the first quarter. Look out.
Dave Weber imploring right now, get their hands off, get the hands off. He thinks these guys are getting hand checked. But that's when you need to be strong with the basketball. You know Carbondale's going to come at you. They're going to make one more run. They didn't win 31 games for nothing, I'll tell you that.
And their fans come to their feet, and so do the Glenbrook North Spartan fans. Nelson tracks down the loose ball. DeWalt. They are within 9.
A little bit of energy in the gym right now and a little bit of excitement on the part of the white shirts and Terriers. They're going to be a step quicker right now. You can guarantee you that because their adrenaline has picked it up a notch or two.
We're under 5 minutes to play for the state championship. Nelson will draw the foul.
Good
his
foul.
Second.
Good foul because Jonathan Shire had split 2 defenders and he was going to go create a basket 4-on-3.
A little bit of a move by Carbondale. They'll head to their huddle. They think they still have a shot, down 42-43. We'll find out right after these local messages. Just a shade under 5 minutes to play in this game. 52-43 is your lead for Glenbrook North. And earlier on today, we crowned some consolation champions, and that would go to the Mustangs from Downers Grove South, 57-44 over Rockford Jefferson.
We'll see.
Let's go to Lee Hall for an update in the Carbondale huddle.
All right, guys, Jim Miller in the Carbondale huddle. Got to have stops, of course, and got to pick up the intensity, look for the trap at any time. And he said, guys, we've got to take chances. They feel like they're still in it, guys.
They've cut it to within 9. That's as close as they have been since early in the second quarter. On the backdoor cut is Shire. They take it away from him in more ways than one. Here come the Terriers. Michael DeWalt. Philip Payne, he's a good three-point shooter. Baseline drive, it's a 7-point game.
Here they come, knocking to the door. Will Glenbrook North let them in? Not without a fight, I guarantee you that. But right now, even though they have a 7-point lead, Carbondale's in charge of this basketball game the last 2.5 or 3 minutes.
They've knocked 10 points off a 17-point Glenbrook North lead.
Again, to repeat ourselves, the 80% free throw shooting team is Glenbrook North. That will be huge down the stretch.
However, Carbondale has just 4 team fouls, so they do have some fouls to give. They can afford to take some chances.
Yeah, they'll
here.
double team and get some traps. They ought to be trapping anytime the ball's in the corner, just like that.
We're underneath 4 minutes to play.
Good ball movement on the outside. They got guys stepping out, meeting passes, ripping the ball through, getting it back out, trying to extend the floor. And as you extend the floor, you take away trapping opportunities by Carbondale.
Valiani has proven to be a great high post passer.
And he filled that high post at just the right time.
Yes,
well
he
coached. He knows when his man's in trouble.
5th team foul against Carbondale Terriers. It's funny how a 7-point lead is, not that much when there's 4 minutes and 10 seconds left. But all of a sudden you get underneath 3 minutes. That 7-point lead has a whole different perspective. Jim Miller wants a timeout. He gets his timeout. And he has some conversations with his players.
Telling his team, take care of the basketball, play with confidence, keep moving on offense, and above all, you come this far. This is our game. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Lee. As Glenbrook North, the ball, they have not scored a point in this quarter, and we're down to 3:12, and in that time, it's been a 9-0 run by Carbondale to put them right back in it. Wallace steps up from 17. What a clutch shot by Sean Wallace, the 6'2 senior.
Cold as ice right there.
Glenbrook North fans are hopping. Nelson, little out of control on the drive. And the clock approaches 2.5 minutes.
Wallace's shot may have been the biggest one for Glenbrook North tonight because it came at such an important time, ending that scoreless drought, extending the lead and giving them just that little impetus of confidence that they were lacking for those 4.5 minutes.
The 6'6 man bringing the ball up the floor, now to Gold. They really do spread. I mean, this is great coaching, great execution, and this is, the hours you spend in a gym for moments like this.
Well, you pick your poison. You let the clock tick, or you put them to the free throw line. Now, again, they still have fouls to give, and they're going to have to do that pretty soon, but they should use it going for the double team. So they gave that foul, but it was almost a useless foul. Instead of going for the basketball and getting a free one, they just kind of slapped from behind at Cass.
Spartans had that stretch here early in this quarter where they turned the ball over, I believe it was 3 times in succession, that led to the Carbondale comeback. And since then, I think the floor has spread a little bit. As you said, the traps have been non-existent or impossible to slap on.
They want to foul Valiani or Radke.
They foul Matt Gold. That's not one of the names you had, was it?
No.
Gold is 70% free throw shooter.
I heard Jim Miller saying he hasn't picked out on his score sheet, but they foul the first available man. You don't foul a 70%er, but that's all they have is 70%ers almost. Pick your poison.
Back to a 10-point differential. Four straight points scored here by Glenbrook North. Nearly a steal by Valiani. Payne. He can get them back in a hurry, but that's only 2. Stepped inside.
The thing with Payne, he's only got 1 3-point field. He only has 1 3-point field goal attempt tonight. He's a 44% shooter, but you just can't find many good looks from the arc.
Next foul will put Glenbrook North to the free throw line. Yep, they have to foul right there. They could not wait. They pick on Gold again.
As soon as Jonathan Shire gave it up, Coach Miller says foul. Shire might leave this state championship tournament being perfect from the foul line for the weekend, which is an incredible accomplishment for that young man.
Bain gets a look, knocks it down. That's a 2.
Billy hit his heels off a dribble. Not many guys get their body under control, their feet underneath them, full speed ahead, but he did.
They didn't wait very long to get Valiani to the line.
Glenbrook North, we talked about at the top, that they're going to finish a game close. They're going to finish from the free throw line, and they're going to have about probably, I would say, 2 or 3 more opportunities to get to the stripe at least. They make free throws, they're going to be the state champions.
Just 70 seconds to play in this game. Valiani, a 6'6" senior.
Bruce Weber's team went to the Sweet 16 today. Dave Weber's going to one-up him big time tonight.
Nice feed from Tab, poked away. And there's no choice. You have to foul the man with the ball, and that's Jonathan Shire with exactly 60 seconds left.
And they sense it now for the first time, the crescendo effect taking place. Glenbrook North on their feet. It would take nothing but a miracle for the Spartans not to take home the huge hardware tonight. And the celebration is starting the far side.
Jonathan Shire heads to the free throw line. 16 out of 16 in the quarterfinals yesterday against Brother Rice from the line, and route to a 35-point performance. Rattles the first one in.
He was 3 out of 3 this afternoon. He's 6 out of 6 tonight.
And right there on his average, one of the keys to the game.
Yeah, he got it, and probably then some. And we said that's what they had to do, is keep him under his average, and they didn't do it.
Shire with 2 more free throws. Jonathan Shire will put his name in the record books. On the hole to the drive is Michael DeWalt. 8 points for DeWalt as Jonathan Shire leaves this floor during the timeout, and he has himself a free throw record. Most free throws in the tournament. Those 2 right there set it. That topped the record of Marcus Liberty, set by Liberty in the 1987 season for Chicago Kings. Single class record, Dale Kelly had to go back to 1966. 45 free throws. You know, as you take a look at Jonathan Shire, with 26 points tonight, he is 10 points shy of Liberty's total tournament record of points scored. I don't think that in 54.6 seconds, as good as Shire is, he can rack up 10 points, but what a fantastic tournament that young man has had. He started off the tournament, of course, the tournament starts in the Sweet 16 with a 48-point performance. It was a truly electric night for that junior.
Well, you know, he's just a great player. We can't say enough about him. We haven't all weekend said enough about him because you just don't have enough time. And he's just so unassuming on the floor. No facial expressions, no emotion. He just goes and plays. He appreciates his teammates. He appreciates his coaching. He's going to appreciate the ring on his finger that he's going to have. And what a great performance it was tonight. Glenbrook North. You know, there's different times you win a basketball game. Sometimes with a last-second shot, sometimes with a defensive stop. They won this one with a superlative, scintillating, exciting, well-executed first half. They won the state championship the first 16 minutes of the game tonight.
The big crowd for Glenbrook North, the student section in the upper bowl here at Carver Arena, is trying to make their way down in the lower sections to be that much closer to their team. 54.6 seconds away from a state championship. Shire's going to get a chance to add to his record.
Guess who? 26 points, 9 for 17 shooting, 7 for 7 from the free throw line, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Handle the ball, what, 60, 65, 70% of the time, does he?
Should not come as any surprise that Jonathan Shire is a great free throw shooter, and oh, he missed one. Ah, look at him. He missed one. He had a streak of 46 made free throws in a row last month.
My goodness. He'll probably be in the gym tomorrow morning.
Hits that one. 26 free throws in a row here in the state tournament. Streak ends. I don't think he's too worried about it right now. Desperation time for Carbondale. Dave Weber screams no fouls. Gold with it. He has a man ahead of him. Valiani. There would have been no glory in that. It's more fun to let your teammates come down and celebrate with you.
He wanted those seconds off the clock rather than the 2 points. Valiani gave good minutes in the semifinal, solid minutes in tonight's basketball game. When you get some depth off the bench, everyone contributes in it. When you play 3 games in 24 hours, that's what happened tonight. They got some good execution on the bench. Great high-post passing by Valiani this evening.
What a great shot that was moments ago of the Glenbrook North bench. The players you were seeing there were the reserves who have gotten just a few seconds of play. Actually, they played a little bit this afternoon. They are feeling it as much as any player that has played the 30 to 32 minutes.
You become a family during the course of a basketball season, and this family's going to take home a trophy.
Tab fires. The officials don't want to blow the whistle. If they don't have to, they will. Clock stops, 8.9 seconds left. You can just feel the bubble ready to burst here at Carver Arena. Ah, how about that? 1 week ago, and it seems so long ago, but 1 week ago, Dave Weber lost his mother. That was his family. The men in green became his family. They have been all year. They rallied around him. And how about the week that Dave Weber has had?
Well, you know, you mentioned that, an emotional low. You can't get any lower than that. And then an emotional high tonight. You can't get much higher than that from a, your professional standpoint.
You tell me he's not thinking about that right now? He's thinking about it.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. And there's a full gamut of emotions at one time when this kind of thing happens, and he's feeling every one of them. But it was so neat to see his teammates, his kids, share it with him.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I'm a little choked up right now. We've both lost a parent, and I know how he feels, and I know the conflict that's running through his mind.
And he knows she's proud.
Yep. The seconds tick down. And there are your state champions from Glenbrook North. Let's go now to Lee Hall.
Coach, an unbelievable week for you. Any of us who've lost a parent know how difficult that is. The depth and then the joy tonight. Can you describe it?
I can't describe it. I just know I'm thankful for what I have in my life and for our players and all that they've done. And, you know, they dedicated the game just emotionally to my family, and it turned out great for us. And it's hard to explain. I'm going to have to go home and watch tapes on this to really let it sink in, but this is a great accomplishment.
Did you have maybe an angel watching out for you tonight, do you think?
I think so, and you know, boy, I think I cried about 5 times today, and it's just, you know, it's an amazing situation for our team and our school, and just really happy for everyone around.
When you're involved in athletics like this, it becomes a cliche that it's like family, but these kids probably helped you through this week more than they'll know.
Yeah, these kids and our school, our administration, our teachers, and yeah, they really helped me through it, and it's hard. You keep thinking about things, but this is really special for us.
Coach, teams always take on the personality of their best player, and Jonathan Shire leads this team, and your team follows, and the way they play the game is something to watch.
Well, thank you, and he is a great player. He's a great leader, and he really gets kids ready to play. And in the locker room, that's the intangibles that people don't see. He gets everyone ready to play, and that's something that I've never had as a coach, and he's going to do that next year, and he'll do that in college.
Coach, congratulations and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jonathan Shire is here, our Country Insurance Player of the Game. Well, here we are again, you know, 3 games, 3 times Player of the Game. It says 27 points, 26 consecutive free throws, but you do so much more than just lead this team in points.
Thank you. Our team, I mean, I can't even describe how great my teammates stepped up tonight. And it was a, awesome team effort, and it feels great. I just can't even describe the feeling. It's the most unbelievable feeling I've ever had.
I know this is an emotional week for you guys. Coach losing his mother. You guys weren't able to go because you had a game that night, but you weren't able to go to the funeral. Can you tell me about how you guys rallied around the coach this week?
Yeah, after that happened when we played Conant, we all said we're gonna do this for Coach, and I think we wanted to stick to that. And I said in the beginning of the season my nana had cancer. I said I'm winning the state championship for you, Nana. And so I do this for my coach and for my nana.
All right, we'll see you here next year, okay?
Thank you. It sounds good. I like that.
Jonathan Shire, our Country Insurance Player of the Game and state champion. Dave, back to you.
Yeah, he would like that. I think there's a lot of people in Northbrook that would as well. Hey, it's time to present some awards here. First place, second place trophies going out to these teams, and for that, we go to Paul Herzog.
At this time, please meet the Terriers of Carbondale, who finished the 2005 season in second place, a record of 31-3. First, let's meet the superintendent of Carbondale, Steve Sabins. Principal, Vicki King. Athletic Director, Rick Moss. Head Coach, Jim Miller. Assistant Coach, Michael Butler. Assistant Coach, Joe Hamilton. Assistant Coach, Ty Moss. Assistant Coach, Fred Hines. Assistant Coach, Mark Albertini. And Assistant Coach, Fred Brook. And now the Carbondale players. Number 3, A.J. King. 11, Chris Harper. 14, Bryce Bosler. 20, Lavelle McDade. 21, Ray Nelson. 22, Sharon Greer. 23, Josh Tabb. 24, Philip Fain. 25, Michael DeWalt. 31, Devon Bell. 40, Stephen Haynes. 41, Manuel Cass. And 50, William Cobb. Second place, Carbondale Terriers, 2005 Class AA boys. this time, please meet the Spartans of Northbrook, who finished the 2005 season first place, a record of 32-2. First, the superintendent of Glenbrook North, Dr. David Hales. Principal, Dr. Michael Riggle. Athletic Director, Bob Pieper. Head Coach, David Weber. Assistant Coach, Brian Halpern. Assistant Coach, Scott Lidskin. Assistant Coach, Matt Miller. And now the Glenbrook North players. Number 10, John Karras. #12, Sean Wallace. #13, Mike Rubo. #14, Matt Seamus. #22, Tyler Culleton. #23, Jonathan Shire. #24, Phil Weisberg. #25, Matt Gold. #30, Jeff Nathan. #32, Alex Prosperi. #33, Malik Valiani. #34, Michael Rosen. #40, Scott Inns. #44, Zach Kelly. #50, Jonathan Radke. And #52, Ryan Richardson. The Spartans of Glenbrook North, champions, Class AA 2005. And now will the captains and Coach Miller of Carbondale step forward and receive the third place trophy. Second place, Carbondale 2005. And now will Coach Weber and the captains of Glenbrook North step forward and receive the first place trophy. 2005 Class AA boys.
There can be no greater feeling than holding a state championship trophy above your head if you're a high school athlete. We have more coming up from Carver Arena, but first, this network break, followed by words from your local stations. There's a celebration going on the floor here at Carver Arena. And I think they're just going to pass that trophy around everybody. But be careful, guys. You may only get one shot. We welcome you back. I'm Dave Fernhardt along with Mark Lindo. And Mark, truly, you get one shot. And you better take advantage of it. And indeed, Glenbrook North did tonight.
Well, you know, they took advantage of the opportunity. We always talk about luck is when preparation meets opportunity. They had some luck along the way. They made some breaks along the way, but they had the opportunity tonight. They took it and ran with it, and now they're going to run with that trophy that's hoisted over their head. So what a great basketball game it was for Dave Weber and his entire program.
You know, as far as Jim Miller is concerned, the head coach for Carbondale, his Terriers finished 31-3. A great season. They just truly, and it's cliche, they came up short tonight.
Well, they certainly did, but they came up short to a great basketball team. These were two good ones. I thought John Shire obviously was a difference. They just put on a clinic offensively in the first half to Glenbrook North. 15 assists of their 18 baskets. Then they finished things from the free throw line. Great distribution of the basketball, great floor spacing. It was a basketball clinic out there on the floor for 16 minutes, and then they finished it off with defense, rebounding, and free throws in the second half.
Let's take a look at some of those final numbers for tonight's game. First of all, Glenbrook North over 50% from the field, 18 of 32. Carbondale didn't shoot that badly. Free throw numbers a little bit skewed, but the bottom line is, you know, I think if you flip the page, you look at the assists. I mean, it was, as you said, the pure clinic going on tonight. Both teams playing clean ball in terms of the turnover numbers. Glenbrook North having the advantage in terms of rebounds. Jonathan Shire finishes his junior year, folks, his junior year with 27 points. Sean Wallace with 15. And Ray Nelson led the way for Carbondale with 11 points. So they are celebrating here in Peoria. It's been a couple of weekends of basketball here in Peoria after 2 weekends prior down at Redbird Arena. You know, and the road to the state championship does begin here. A father and son experiencing the madness of March together. Peoria lit up the Illinois basketball world for the last 2 weekends of celebrations and disappointments. What a week it's been for all the participants in this tournament, running through the complete range of human emotions from lows to highs. We look forward to a new and exciting season, not only this fall, but well into the future when these kids light up the hardwood floors of the state championship court. On behalf of our entire IHSA television crew, thanks for joining us these past 4 weekends. For Lee Hall, for Mark Lindo, I'm Dave Bernhardt. Have a great year, and we'll see you once again in the fall.